Papa John's Cubs Pregame Live.
About as gorgeous a day as we've had all season long here at Friendly Confines. The Cubs will try and avert a sweep at the hands of the high-flying Miami Marlins, who've come in and look like world beaters the first 2 days here at Wrigley. And welcome into our Papa John's Cubs Pregame Live. I'm David Kaplan. He is former Marlin and former Cub, Todd Hollinsworth. Boy, last night Edwin Jackson looks pretty good, gets into the fifth, and the wheels come off.
No, that's exactly it. We talk about efficiency and kind of what's gone wrong with Edwin Jackson this year. It's been very frustrating. Very frustrating year. It was 15th loss of the season. My goodness gracious, but you saw what the Fighting Fish were basically able to do yesterday, which was foul off a lot of tough pitches, which tells me maybe there needs to be a little bit more from Edwin Jackson. I talked about this a little bit on the postgame show, maybe a third pitch. He has had a real rough time with efficiency this year, and it's really kind of created a bit of a problem. You saw it yesterday in the ballgame.
All right, let's talk a little bit about today's game. When you play a team, you're both up the track. Both are looking at draft position as the most important thing. The Marlins have come in here and really look like a team that is on the uptick.
Well, that's why you got to give a lot of credit to manager Mike Redmond. I mean, now this has been the position that this ball club has been in, which is a little bit different than the Cubs. Now, the Cubs have had some veterans and some guys who have had track records, and call it what you want. I mean, just more proven hitters. It's real simple. This has been the message all season long. September isn't really getting lost in their approach. His young team, Mike Redmond's young team, it's all about length of the season. There's only one place you play 162 games, and it's not in the minor leagues. It's only at the major league level. So he told me today that that's really what he's battling right now. The fighting mentality is there. The Fish are off trying to win ball games, doing what they do, and you've seen them fight in the first 2 games of the series.
All right, Cubs made some more roster moves. Michael Bowden has been designated for assignment. Let's take a look at our screen of Cubs moves. And J.C. Boscan, catcher, up. Justin Grimm came in to Garza deal with Texas, up. Chang Yong Lim brought up from Iowa today. Brooks Raley's back. And Zach Roskup involved in the Garza deal with the Rays in 11. He made his major league debut last night. Let's hear what he had to say.
I felt good. Got comfortable after, first couple pitches. The first one's always the hardest, right?
You exhale when you struck out a big league hitter of that caliber for the first guy you face.
I mean, I didn't know he went around at first. I looked to see if they were checking to see if he went, but after he did go and he struck out, I had definitely a sigh of relief.
Did you hear from family or anything?
Yeah, all day. I mean, my phone's been vibrating a lot. I mean, my family's really excited. My mom is probably dancing at the house. She's tears of joy, she said.
All right, for more on the call-ups and a whole lot going on with the Chicago Cubs, let's bring in our Cubs insider, CSN Chicago's great writer. He is Patrick Mooney, who travels throughout the year with the club and is on top of the pulse of the Cub Nation. All right, Patrick, let's start right there with the call-ups. Anybody jump out at you where this September group of games is a huge opportunity for him? For me, it's Justin Grimm. What about for you?
For me, the most interesting I found was kind of the guy who hasn't been activated yet and hasn't really had a formal, sit-down yet, and that's Scott Baker. He was a guy who the Cubs signed for $5.5 million last November, thinking maybe if everything broke right, he could be in this opening day rotation. Then it was the All-Star break. Then, after the trade deadline as a replacement, and here he's kind of waiting for his September audition. And this is a guy that they really liked. They liked his track record with the Minnesota Twins. They really liked his makeup. And I think for him, he'd love to pitch here in September, start a couple of games, and then maybe see where they're at in the offseason as a nice piece for the 2014 rotation. And they haven't really set that yet. And then certainly, I think it's Grimm, Roskup, seeing some of these guys, seeing, how these trades sort out and which guys can position themselves for next season.
I want to ask you back. Let's backtrack a little bit about Scott Baker. So, if you're a fan of the team, and you look at Scott Baker, how do you assess this situation? If he's not going to be getting the starts in September, is there any hope for him next year, or is this just merely the Cubs not enough time and going to part ways with him?
Well, I think there is still, enough time. I think they were supposed to maybe talk either today or this weekend, and try and figure out a plan. And Scott Baker yesterday was, very upfront. He was honest. He wasn't complaining. He was just kind of saying, this is what I would love to do. I don't have that much experience, coming out of the bullpen. And really earlier this summer, you had kind of both sides openly acknowledging that they had discussed the idea of another contract, and, they think he would be a good fit here. Maybe he's the guy that they wind up being almost a flippable asset or whatever you want to call it. But certainly his velocity is not there yet. Dale said it. He said it. And I think it's taken, a lot longer than anyone thought to where he'd be back on a major league mound and contributing.
All right, let's talk about Javi Baez. He has had an absolutely monster season. 37 bombs, 115 RBIs or so. He's hitting up near 300. The approach at the plate, every scout I've talked to from outside the organization says his approach is a lot better. When do you see Javier Baez here? Because one scout told me in the last 24 hours he can play in the big leagues right now.
Well, I think certainly you don't expect him for opening day next year. I mean, if you're talking about an absolute best case scenario, maybe it's midsummer next year, the same way they kind of brought up Rizzo when they, take into account service time considerations and things like that. But I know everyone loves talking about this guy. He's had a monster year, but the Cubs are going to try and pump the brakes a little bit. He's still committed more than 40 errors this year. He still has a lot to learn, but certainly they're excited about him and, figuring out where he fits on a major league club, whether that's at shortstop or moving somewhere else. But certainly he's forcing the issue, and that's something that when the Cubs report their new facility next year, everyone will be talking about him again. When's Baez going to get here?
Appreciate the knowledge. We'll read your game story at csnchicago.com. Have a good day, Patrick. Thank you,
Patrick.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there he is, Patrick Mooney. By the way, last night, Daytona won in the playoffs, their first game over Dunedin. 2 hits for Chris Bryant, who also is making a case to rise through the system very quickly, the number 2 overall pick in June.
Love to see that they're getting some playoff experience. I understand it's minor league baseball, but it's different. It's a different animal. It's different than anything he's seen in college, and it's going to serve him well in the future.
All right, let's take a look at today's pitching matchup. It is 2 totally different types of pitchers. You've got a veteran in Jeff Samardzija, still trying to develop into a top-of-the-rotation guy. And then you look for the Miami Marlins. Brian Flynn, 6'8", is making his major league debut in a sport he almost gave up at the age of 8 when his father was tragically killed, and that was his coach and his mentor.
Yeah, it's the horrible part of the story, certainly, that relationship that he had with his dad and where he was with baseball is that constant reminder moving forward. The 6'7" left-hander, I mean, he has got it. I mean, he is one of their top prospects. It came over in the Anibal Sanchez trade to the Marlins. He's got big-time stuff. He's got a great strikeout-to-walk ratio. He attacks the strike zone. Big fastball, 93, 96. Good slider and curve as well as a straight change. So it's going to be fun to see what he's able to do today in this important start for him.
Yeah, for Jeff Samardzija, he comes off a co-player of the week in the National League. But he's got to continue to string together some consistent efforts because we've seen him dominate and then look terrible, and then dominate, and look terrible.
Great.
Got to have a great one.
You're absolutely right about that. That's the one thing that stands out for me in the second half for Jeff Samardzija. And any questions that might be lingering? I mean, I know we sit here and we talk about 200 innings being a very, very important number to Jeff, certainly to any starter in the rotation. I get it. I understand it. But it's how are you getting to 200 innings right now is that the story. Over his last 10 starts, 3-3 with a 5.2. Those aren't good numbers. And you don't want to just get there to get there. You want it to get there learning, taking strides, and moving in the right direction. So you're absolutely right about this being a big start today. The Cubs have lost the first 2 games to the Marlins, and I'm watching real closely today to see how he handles himself.
All right, we had a chance yesterday to catch up with the right-hander in advance of today's 29th start. That's tops on the club, and he talked about the importance of having a good outing.
We're getting into new ground and dates and innings that I haven't been to before, and so it's definitely a little bit of a learning process and how my body feels, but I feel good. And I just look forward to being consistent with my work and consistent with what I do in between my starts, just so we're approaching all these last 5-6 starts in September as no different than the starts were in April, May, and June, and July. This is what you work for. This is why you're down in Arizona in December, and you're running on the track, you're climbing Camelback, you're doing this and that, because when you get 180, 185 innings on you, then it's really time to start working and stay strong. You let off now, whereas back in the midsummer you can let off a little bit and still have the strength in your body and your arm to carry you through. But now your body's tired, your arm's tired, and it's just time to push through physically and mentally, and just look at every start as kind of like it's your last, because there's only a certain amount left. And you're playing teams like the Cardinals, Pirates, and Reds, and then the Braves mixed in there too, for the majority of your final month games. That's pretty exciting. And to know you might not be a playoff team yourself, but you have your hands in the outcome of other teams' seasons and how they turn out is important. And you owe it to all the other teams in contention to come out and give your best and give your best showing so the right team, makes it into the playoffs.
All right, time now for our Comcast Business Edge. Comcast Business Edge is sports at the speed of business, and we look at Marlins starting pitcher rookie Brian Flynn making his major league debut. How about these numbers, Holly? 23-year-old started the season AA Jacksonville. 23 innings, ERA of $1.57. New Orleans, AAA, 138 innings, an ERA of .280. Dominates with strikeouts and walks per 9 innings. He is very locked in with his command.
Oh, no doubt. And I saw a little bit of video on him. I don't have a whole lot of evidence, a lot of detail that I can give you, but what I did see, very smooth, very rhythmic for a big guy. Again, left-hander, tall, very deceptive. Again, big-time fastball. It's not an effort that you see. It's actually, he's very smooth. Kind of reminds me maybe a little bit of Randy Johnson. You're going to see that today. Again, the fastball, slider, curveball change is what you're going to see. And he's going to attack the strike zone, and that's the advantage that Cubs hitters do have, is that he does throw a lot of strikes.
All right, let's talk about 200-inning pitchers, and that is the mark of being a workhorse, of being a very stable presence in a rotation. Cubs have 2 guys that should eclipse that mark this year. Jeff Samardzija, who goes today, and Travis Wood. And, you look at it, it's amazing that 25 years ago, 300 innings, maybe 30 years ago, 300 innings was the marker, 250. But these guys are now, this is what it is, and they are going to achieve it.
Well, it's what they trained them to. Listen, they're byproducts of their generation, just like I was a byproduct of mine. There's no, one's better than the other. I mean, 300, certainly, things were different back then. You look at today, 200 innings, it's big. You know what, I'll tell you what, these guys today, I think I say this pretty confidently, probably play and pitch with a lot more pressure on them with the attention that they get in the media than the guys back in the day did. TV was totally different back then, so things are different. I talk about mental stress. So 200 is a big number. Both of these guys have a shot at it. For me, and even today with Jeff Samardzija, want to see just a little bit more consistency.
And first time for the Cubs to have this since 2008, when it was Ryan Dempster and Ted Lilly in that glorious summer when the Cubs won 97 ball games and captured the National League Central Division flag. Dale Swaim talked about having 2 guys that he can count on for big innings.
It's a goal of all theirs, I think, when the season starts, is to, it's a measuring stick to that you did your job, that you went deep enough in enough games to get to that 200 innings and to help the bullpen out and do things on a fairly consistent basis. It's obviously, a thing that helps out everyone. The evaluation factor of guys that can pitch 200 innings in the big leagues and not only do it, but be successful and have, a lot of quality starts and all that. It helps the organization out. It helps everything out moving forward to know you got a couple guys that can do that.
All right, we've got to take a timeout here, but we've got the pitching matchup and the lineups they'll be facing. We'll get all that to you after this timeout. Don't forget, great lunch idea. How about papajohns.com? Order up pizza. It's a gorgeous day. 36 minutes to get your pizza to you. And you can watch the Cubs try and knock off the fish here on CSN.
When the Northsiders score 3, get one free. After the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get the second one free online at papajohns.com with promo code Northside.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Now, every day after the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get one free. Available online only at papajohns.com with promo code Northside. Order now at papajohns.com.
It took 1 hour to think up an idea, 3 months to get a loan, 2 months to find the space, and 5 weeks later came the first return customer. It took 2 years to bring your idea to life. So why wouldn't you take 20 minutes to make your business better? Call us. If we can't offer you faster speed or better savings on your current internet or phone service, we'll give you $150 for your time. Get your Comcast Business 20-minute advantage today.
At Honey, what are you doing? I thought you were getting your hair cut at Great Clips.
I am. Already checked in.
How?
Their sweet online check-in app. Why wait around there for a haircut when I can work on my bod here? I got a few more minutes. And pump it and squeeze it. Ooh, smile at me.
Introducing the online check-in app from Great Clips. No more waiting around, because now we'll be waiting for you. Great Clips, it's gonna be great.
This is corporate headquarters. As you can see, I have a unique business. How do I compete with the big boys? Got this fancy business address, a marketing department, distribution center, and a great team, even a cafeteria.
That's mine. From packing and shipping to printing and mailbox services, come into the UPS store for everything a small business needs.
I love logistics.
Legendary names, personal stories from the boys in the hall, and today's stars who dream to join them.
That's the greatest feeling I've ever had on a field.
See them on boysinthehall.com. Celebrated by Subway, where winners eat.
Maybe I should get that.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Brian Urlacher?
I'm back to defend you from DirecTV's latest offer. With DirecTV, your bill more than doubles after a year.
Not cool.
And they lock you into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000.
That's a lot of sheesh.
That's why the smart play is Xfinity. With the X1 platform, your DVR can record 4 shows while you watch the game live. Go long. Don't get sacked by DirecTV. Oops. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Welcome back to Papa John's Cubs Pregame Live.
All right, time to look at the lineups for both teams here at Papa John's Cubs Pregame Live. Cubs facing a lefty and Brian Flynn. All right, here's your lineup. We've got changes and news that has just broken. Castro leads off at short, Barney at second, Rizzo at first, Navarro will catch, Murphy at third, Junior Lake now is moving over to left field. Cole Gillespie is out of the lineup, and in fact, take your uniform off, you're no longer on the roster. He has just been designated for assignment from the lineup to out of the organization. The Cubs have picked up pitcher Daniel Bard from the Boston Red Sox, and as you were just telling me, 2 years ago he was one of the top elite setup guys in all of baseball. He has struggled with command since, and many others saying, get him to Theo and he'll fix him.
Well, that's the idea. And again, Evan Wilner, I'm giving you a shout out because you were on this first. But yeah, I mean, that's just it. Daniel Bard's got big time stuff. He's got a big arm. He was the best 8th inning arm in the American League East. How about that? I even dressed it up a little bit more for you right there. That guy. He's that guy in the American League East 2 seasons ago. He's gone through some issues. They tried to move him to the rotation, tried to see how that was going to work and how that was going to play, and he's really never been the same since. You get him fixed and you get him right and get him maybe in the bullpen. Wow. I mean, you have a chance here, but again, it's a reclamation project.
Yeah, you always try to look for those and see what you can come up with. I mean, there's always moves you make, and people are like, who's that guy?
Right.
And then you go, wow, what a great move. So
yeah, we'll see
how it works out. Let's look at the Miami Marlins lineup. For manager Mike Redmond, Holly's former teammate. You got Coughlin, Solano, Yelich, Stanton, who I just think is a heck of a player, even though he's struggling with runners in scoring position. Reggiano, Morrison. You got Coy Hill in the lineup catching, and Brian Flynn making his major league debut.
Now, listen, they got a little talent there. Listen, the Cubs should be winning this series. The Marlins have struggled to score runs all season long, 441 of them. You know what that's good for? Last in the National League. That's not very many runs, almost 100 less than the Cubs. So they've struggled. Christian Yelich is kind of the guy. He's been hot in this series. He's been hot of late. 3 for 5 yesterday, a couple RBIs, 11 for his last 20. He's got a 5-game hitting streak, a couple doubles, and a home run. So be aware of him. Of course, you're going to pay attention to Stanton. He's the big thunderstick in the middle of their lineup to be respected. But they have had a rough time scoring runs. Tip of the cap to the Marlins. I will say in the first couple games of the series, though, they put together some good at-bats.
They did. They delivered, and when they had Edwin Jackson on the ropes, they finished the job.
Big hits, yeah.
Big hits and big spots, as you like to say. All right, we've got to take another timeout. We still have Holly's keys to the game, our key performers. We got a whole lot more to share with you, so stick around. Our Papa John's Cubs Pregame Live rolls on here at CSN.
It took 6 months to perfect the prototype. 1 night to test an idea. 2 weeks to get the color palette, and 5 weeks to get the first 4-star review. All told, it took 2 years to bring your dream to life. So why wouldn't you take 20 minutes to make your business better? Call us. If we can't offer you faster speed or better savings on your current internet or phone service, we'll give you $150 for your time. Get your Comcast Business 20-minute advantage today.
Save big money during the Menard Days sale. Update your entryway with Larson Storm Doors. The Lakeview has a maintenance-free finish with dual weather stripping and a screen-away retractable screen. Only $259. Other colors are also on sale. Make your backyard a bite-free zone with Cutter Backyard Bug Control. It removes insects and controls for 8 weeks. A 32-ounce bottle treats up to 5,000 square feet. Right now, only $688.
Save big money at Menards.
Unbelievable. In our day, we didn't have Uverse high-speed internet.
Yeah, our babysitter didn't have a million ways to serve Mom up on a silver platter.
We had to count sheep to fall asleep.
And I always worried that I was creating an overcrowded sheep farm. In my head, never looked like that farmer took proper care of those sheep. Too much.
A little.
Connect all your Wi-Fi-enabled devices with Uverse high-speed internet. Rethink possible.
Let's compare bundles with Dish Network and DirecTV. If you want the best in TV, phone, and internet, then Dish Network simply can't compete because DirecTV partners with the nation's leading providers to deliver a superior bundle for one low price. Combining some of the fastest internet speeds with the world's #1 TV service, DirecTV's bundles leave Dish in the dust. Another reason 30 million people agree. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
At Valspar, we believe there's no feeling like having the perfect color. That's why we're committed to helping you find the one that's right. Introducing the Valspar Color Guarantee. If you don't like the color you buy, have another on us. Valspar. Find it at your local Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Sports Talk Live, presented by Land Rover. Weeknights on Comcast Sportsnet.
All right. Cubs and the Miami Marlins are getting ready to close out the series here. The Marlins going for a surprising sweep when you figure the Cubs, as tough as the year's been, have a better record than the Marlins. They got more veteran players than the Marlins, but they've rolled in and taken care of business.
It's bothering me, Cap. You know that. If you haven't noticed, it's bothered me over the last couple of days. I don't like that.
Because I don't look at you as a Marlin. You're a Cub.
Oh, I'm absolutely a Cub.
All right, let's talk about our ATI injury report. We focus on one man this time, Scott Baker. Signed before the season. Cubs figured that early to late summer he would be here. He has not been able to pitch at the big league level as he has not recovered from Tommy John as quickly as they'd hoped. Here's Dale Swaim on Baker.
As much as anything is the health. I mean, knowing that, he did get to, a certain amount of pitches, and obviously the velocities aren't there that, that he would like to see or we'd like to see. But, the fact of the matter that he's been able to go every 5 days and bounce back.
I need to prove I'm capable of pitching in a major league ball game, and I think that's the first and foremost thing that's at least on my mind. And I really haven't thought about next year because there's a lot that needs to happen this year to set up next year for sure.
All right, we'll see what happens. He's a guy that they, I think, counted on.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's complicated. I mean, that's why I was asking Patrick about it. I mean, you look at Scott and you want to see something. I mean, you made the investment, you reached out, but I understand that injuries have limited him. I don't know where this goes. I mean, does he sign a contract for the same number now that he's healthy next year? And I think that's really ultimately where it goes. I mean, Scott, he understands the circumstances as well. He's going to do what's best interest of Scott, but the organization got nothing out of it. So it's so hard to figure this one out.
Do you, as a player, if it was you, feel any loyalty
Absolutely.
To a team that said, all right, here's $5 million, we'll rehab you and get you back, and now you're much healthier, you probably would be able to pitch in the big leagues next year. Someone comes along and goes, we'll pay you a lot more. What do you do?
That's a great question. Well, I was loyal to a fault. I mean, my agents at times got mad at me because I was probably too loyal at times. But that's you're absolutely. I mean, if I was Scott Baker and you're asking me that way, I'm here next year.
Kerry Wood did that.
I'm here next year with trying to validate what they did for me this year and prove to everybody what I was all about next year. I mean, those are the circumstances, but that's not everybody, Cap.
All right, let's take our last time out. We will come back with Holly's keys to the game and key performers. That's next here on our Papa John's Cubs pregame live on CSN Chicago.
Need a reason to drive a Ford with EcoBoost technology? I got 10.
I feel like I'm driving a race car.
More horsepower and more gas mileage. It's just a great combination.
Another great thing? Ford mileage beats Toyota in every segment we compete. Moving on.
Handling.
Sleek and cool.
Technology.
Assisted parking. Feels safe.
And finally, drum roll please.
Getting that kind of gas mileage is awesome.
Bingo.
Get a Ford Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months plus $500 bonus cash.
Maybe I should get that.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Brian Urlacher?
I'm back to defend you from DirecTV's latest offer. With DirecTV, your bill more than doubles after a year.
Not cool.
And they lock you into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000.
That's a lot of cheese.
That's why the smart play is Xfinity. With the X1 platform, your DVR can record 4 shows while you watch the game live. Go long. Don't get sacked by DirecTV. Oops. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Unbelievable. This is awesome. Come on, really? I knew he was going to shank it.
I didn't shank it!
Seriously, what are we supposed to do with this?
What if I just, No.
Oh, come on, man.
No, don't do that. Sorry. He is really in there. That slime dripping off?
It is.
Yep. That's nice.
Wouldn't it be great if every situation had helpful notes? That's why at Great Clips, we have clip notes. Notes that say exactly what you like. So don't just get a cut, get your hair cut. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
This is corporate headquarters. As you can see, I have a unique business. How do I compete with the big boys? Got this fancy business address, a marketing department, distribution center, got a great team, even a cafeteria.
That's mine.
From packing and shipping to printing and mailbox services, come into the UPS store for everything a small business needs.
I love logistics.
Honey, you were right. Choosing Galaxy was a great decision.
Buying one window and getting the second for $1? I just can't stop smiling.
773-783-8300. Call Galaxy.
Ferguson Jenkins won 20 games 7 times and the National League Cy Young Award in 1971. That's why he is one of the boys in the Hall. For more on Ferguson and other Hall of Famers, go to boysinthehall.com. Celebrated by Subway, where winners eat.
All right, Cubs and the Marlins teeing it up on maybe the most beautiful day of the entire summer right here at Wrigley Field. It's time for Todd Hollinsworth's keys to the ballgame.
All right, here we go. Number 1, knockout. Playing off yesterday a little bit. You know, we saw in the ballgame Edwin Jackson struggle with his efficiency and kind of giving some credit to the Marlin hitters who have struggled most of this year. But again, that's going to be key for me today because I think Jeff Samard just struggled with it as well. I threw that number out at you. 5.23 ERA over his last after his last 10 starts. That's a big number, and his efficiency hasn't been that good. And the Fish, they've been better giving some at-bats in this series, so he's going to have to get to that knockout pitch. His splitting and his slider have got to work for him today. You don't want to see that pitch count climb with the Fish fighting off pitchers' pitches. Hopefully he gets some swing and misses and he's able to put some guys away. Gone fishing. Real simple. No, I'm not talking Marlins. I'm not talking the fighting fish over there wearing the teal. I'm talking about Junior Lake. Go figure. Why? Well, he's 6 for his last 34. $176. The gone fishing part, 12 strikeouts last 9 ball games. It's got my attention. He needs to clean it up a little bit. He's a guy that I'm keeping my eye on. He's caught our attention with the great play earlier in the season, but he's struggling right now. He wants to finish this year strong. He's got to get it going and really sweep. That's key number 3. I'm talking about the Cubs being the better team in this ballpark. You've lost the first 2. A little pride, a little dignity, a little determination today. Call it what you want. If I'm a Cub and I'm in uniform, I'm taking it personal today. I'm going out and I'm making sure we win.
All right, we'll see how Jeff Samard pitches. It's time for our key performers. I won the last time. I get to go first. I'll go Darwin Barney.
Deanna Navarro, I'm taking him today.
All right, and again, if you missed the news, Daniel Bard, who was one of the best setup guys in the American League and all of baseball just a couple of years ago, was released, put on waivers by the Red Sox, and the Cubs have acquired him. Theo getting back one of his old first-round picks from the 06 draft. That's going to do it from here. We will see you on the post-game show. Len and JD are next. The Cubs and the Marlins wrap up a series here at the Friendly Confines. Take it away, guys.
Cap, Holly, thanks very much. What a gorgeous day. The weather has certainly cooperated on this homestand, but the Cubs trying to avoid the sweep today, facing a guy who's never pitched at this level.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. A major league debut for Brian Flynn, big lefty, for the Fish today, and Jeff Samardzija trying to get back on the beam for the Cubs.
Let's talk about this division. A couple of big games last night, and the Pirates will not have a losing season for the first time since 1992. Travis Snyder coming off the bench with a game-winning home run in the top of the ninth. Win number 81 for the Pirates. They have bigger fish to fry, but step at a time, I suppose.
Yeah, and they just got Jason Grilli off the disabled list to help fortify that back end of the bullpen. Mark Melanson has done an outstanding job. Big handshakes all the way around for clinching that winning or at least non-losing season. But as Len mentioned, bigger plans for the Pirates. And how about Billy Hamilton, the minor league speedster called up by the Reds to provide a little spark off the bench? He did just that. Pinch running for Ryan Ludwig, steals at second base and ultimately scores the game-winning run in a 1-0 win over the Cardinals. Things tightening up in the NL Central.
Yeah, the Pirates now with a 2-game lead over the Cardinals. There's the game-winning RBI in that 1-0 Reds victory. The Reds are just a game and a half behind the Cardinals now for second place in the division, and all three teams in very good shape to make the playoffs. We alluded to it last night, but we're going to start talking about some award contenders. We'll start with the Manager of the Year candidates. We'll begin in the National League and probably the top 4 guys on the list.
Yeah, and I suspect Clint Hurdle's going to win this award because of the long losing run that they've had in Pittsburgh. Hurdle, if he doesn't get Manager of the Year, he'll at least get Mayor of Pittsburgh. He's done such a nice job. But I really like the job Freddie Gonzalez has done down in Atlanta. Washington expected to win that division. Freddie Gonzalez has had to deal with a lot of injuries to his bullpen. B.J. Upton really hasn't provided much offense. Tim Hudson went down. Through it all, the Braves continue to win.
Over in the American League, it's a pretty long list, and we should probably also mention Jim Leland as well. The Tigers 81 and 58. But as we said last night, you seem to get penalized the more talent you have.
Yeah, but you have to throw Joe Girardi on this list because of the injury issues and all the turmoil with A-Rod in New York. Ron Washington's done a real nice job. You know, they lost Josh Hamilton, but they continue to forge ahead. And how about John Farrell? The Red Sox last year had their worst year since 1965, finished dead last. They got off to a great start this year, and they're in a pretty comfortable position atop the AL East.
Well, the Cubs today try to salvage the finale. They'll have their #1 starter, Jeff Samardzija, on the mound. Again, Brian Flynn, the tall left-hander, making his debut for the Marlins. And we've got a lot of Cubs news to delve into with our Cubs insider, Patrick Mooney, right after the break here on Comcast Sportsnet.
This Cubs Injury Report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Now, every day after the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get one free. Available online only at papajohns.com with promo code NORTHSIDE. Order now at papajohns.com.
It took 1 hour to think up an idea, 3 months to get a loan, 2 months to find the space, and 5 weeks later came the first return customer. It took 2 years to bring your idea to life. So why wouldn't you take 20 minutes to make your business better? Call us. If we can't offer you faster speed or better savings on your current internet or phone service, we'll give you $150 for your time. Get your Comcast Business 20-minute advantage today.
Billy Williams hit 426 home runs and was a 7-time All-Star. That's why he is one of the boys in the Hall. For more on Billy and other Hall of Famers, go to boysinthehall.com. Celebrated by Subway, where winners eat.
Save big money during the Menard Days sale. Get a fresh new look with Citation Carpet. Firecracker level loop in 2 colors, features a 5-year wear warranty, only 69 cents a square foot. Arnett Frisé in 3 colors is just 99 cents a square foot. And brighten any room with Patriot lighting. The Audrey collection features a brushed nickel finish with flat opal glass. This 3-light pendant is $68, and the stylish 6-light chandelier is $119.
Save big money at Menards.
Update your roof during Menards Roofing and Siding Sale. Installing a new roof is a big investment, so make the right choice and protect your home with Owens Corning shingles. Blending durability with style, Owens Corning has a full line of shingles on sale. From True Definition Duration to Oak Ridge featuring artisan colors. And right now, classic traditional shingles are only $14.99 a bundle after rebate. Now at Menards, your Owens Corning headquarters.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, Roxanne. You ever played down in football in your life?
Yeah, I played Pee Wee football for a year.
Tonight. Looks like you still play Pee Wee football. The league is moving.
The MacArthur Cutler road trip.
Every year, Kev. To FXX.
What do you say tonight we pull the old wife switcheroo?
Why not?
Awesome.
New channel. Listen to me. Same dirty players.
Hey, man, where's your toilet paper? Are you in my house? I'll just use this monogram toilet paper that's here.
The league is now on FXX. Season premiere tonight at 10:30.
It's Patrick Mooney time. It's Patrick Mooney time.
It is Patrick Mooney time. Our Cubs Insider brought to you by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side, and a lot of news here today. The Cubs roster continuing to change. The latest, Daniel Bard, the right-handed reliever from the Boston Red Sox, recently designated for assignment, has been claimed by the Cubs. Not a big surprise.
Yeah, you look at this front office, they love these guys that they know their kind of background. He's got first-round pedigree out of UNC, those drafts run by Theo and Jason McLeod, and he was a dominant setup guy in the American League East for some contending Red Sox teams, and I think you'll see another change of scenery, get him up here working with pitching coach Chris Bosio, and see if they can rediscover what made him, one of the best in the game not that long ago.
Cole Gillespie, you saw, designated for assignment by the Cubs. He was in the original starting lineup. Also, right-hander Michael Bowden, who dealt a scoreless ninth last night, was packing up his things. He was designated for assignment to make room for right-hander Chang Yong Lim. Now, interesting guy, 37 years old, basically 17-year career in Korea and Japan, 2 Tommy John surgeries, and here he is.
Yeah, it said this is kind of the last frontier for him to prove himself in. He's been in the Olympics, he's been in the World Baseball Classic, and people, we asked him today, what did you know about the Cubs before you signed here? And it was tough for him to stifle the grin. He just said, well, obviously the curse, and he said maybe we can change that. But another interesting bullpen arm for Dale to get a look at here, and along with Bard and some of these other guys heading into Mesa next year.
I know you talked to the Cubs farm director, Brandon Hyde, for a story. Check it out at CSNChicago.com. The Cubs with 3 playoff teams in the minor leagues, and both wins, Boise and Daytona yesterday. Tennessee will start up tomorrow, game 1 at Birmingham, but he managed Stanton and Morrison at AA in the Marlins organization.
Yeah, he goes way back with those guys. I think they beat a Cubs affiliate that had Starlin and Wellington Castillo, Andrew Kashner, and I think that's kind of what this front office has done, trying to borrow ideas from whether it's Vanderbilt University with Derek Johnson, who they picked up, a guy who worked with David Price, or the Marlins for all their troubles at times at an ownership level, front office level. Certainly they know how to develop young guys, and stars like, he was Mike Stan back then, but we get to see Giancarlo here today.
Last thing, Dale was asked today about Pedro Strop, and he said he wouldn't mind getting Strop maybe a save chance or 2 down the stretch just as they look ahead to next year.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shift. We had been asking that basically leading up to the July 31st trade deadline, thinking Kevin Gregg would be on the move somewhere else, and certainly he's another guy that Dale said you don't really make decisions based off September. There's so much that could happen between now and next year, but certainly to get a look at him and some of these other guys could be helpful.
All right, Patrick, as always, thanks for the time. And our pitching matchup today, it'll be Jeff Samardzija for the Cubs, leading the team in strikeouts. This will be his career-high 29th start. Brian Flynn, the left-hander, making his big league debut. Cubs hosting the Fish, coming up next.
We love our devices until we see the new one. Technology doesn't wait. Why should you? Introducing AT&T Next, a new way to get a new device every year. 0 down payment, no upgrade fee, no activation fee, no financing fee. It's time to rethink how you get a new device.
This is corporate headquarters. As you can see, I have a unique business. How do I compete with the big boys? Got this fancy business address, a marketing department, distribution center, got a great team, even a cafeteria.
That's mine.
From packing and shipping to printing and mailbox services, come into the UPS store for everything a small business needs.
I love logistics.
There's a first time for everything. We achieve goals. Celebrate. Cherish and protect what really matters.
Big part of this final month of September is the focus on the younger players and getting back to the basics. This Cubs staff always in a teaching mode, and we're set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Gorgeous day at the ballpark. It's a matinee today, and the Cubs try to avoid the 3-game sweep as they host the Miami Marlins. Great to have you with us, along with the man in the lime green shirt, Jim DeShays. I like it.
Undefeated.
I'm Len Casper. Oh, really?
1-0.
Okay, I like it. Christian Yelich, you may not have heard of him, but the first 2 games of this series, he's been the best offensive performer.
Yeah, the best story for the Marlins has been their pitching in the second half of the season. They've been very, very competitive. Runs have been hard to come by, but this young hitter is the real deal. Just 21 years of age, 6 hits in the series in 9 at-bats, a double, a home run, and some singles, but stays inside the ball very well. Pulled the breaking ball from Travis Wood for a home run, show pretty good power the other way. The Marlins have some intriguing young pitchers, and now they add a guy like Yelich to the mix, and maybe better days ahead for the Fish.
For the Cubs today, it'll be Jeff Samardzija closing in on 200 innings. Still a couple of starts away from that, but start number 29 on the year.
Yeah, boy, he was rolling along so well last time out against the Philadelphia Phillies before he kind of ran into a speed bump in the middle of that ball game. Overall, though, over his last 3 starts, the number's very good. 2-0 with a 3.04. You'll remember a dominant performance here against Washington. Another one against the Padres on the road trip. And again, just a little bump in the road, that one bad inning last time out against the Phils.
Only 24 games games to go, including just 10 here at Wrigley Field, including today. Let's throw it down to the field now for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise. Kindly remove your caps and join Griffin House as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job by Griffin House with our national anthem. Gorgeous day here on the north side. Settle in. We're getting set for the Cubs hosting the Miami Marlins next.
When you only make SUVs for 65 years, all that learning leads to something remarkable. The Range Rover Evoque. Winner of over 120 awards, including the 2012 Strategic Vision Total Quality Award. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Incoming DeKalb dealer message.
Hi, Wes. I have your custom farm solution ready.
Welcome to tomorrow. Today, where breeding and trait innovations beyond imagination have taken root. Welcome to the possibilities of future farming, already growing at DeKalb. Strong past, powerful future.
And here we go, folks.
It's your favorite hot dog bun, mustard, and overpriced watered-down beer.
Are you sure you want to eat all that? Because you already weigh more than your team's batting average.
Let's just toast to our anniversary. Oh no, it's corked.
Let's just watch the game. I tweeted all of your friends to come over, but I guess no one showed up, just like at Mobile Phone Park.
That's okay. I invited one of your friends too.
There's a long drive and it's out of here.
Give a real anniversary gift this year. Escape to the Champagne Lodge in Willowbrook, just 25 minutes southwest of Chicago.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. BMO Harris Bank, helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank, NA member FDIC. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Welcome back. Beautiful shots of downtown Chicago and Wrigley Field. Marlins and Cubs wrapping up a 3-game set. The Cubs are 2-3 on this 9-game homestand. Off day tomorrow. The Brewers come in for the weekend starting on Friday. Jeff Samardzija again taking the ball for the Cubs today. And let's check out our Xfinity high-speed action. Jeff's 17 innings away from the 200-inning marker. Pretty decent chance here, JD. The Cubs will have a couple of guys get to that point. Travis Wood and Jeff Samardzija.
Yeah, both on pace to accomplish that. And Samardzija, when at his best, is able to elevate that fastball. Last time out early on, real good split finger pitch. This is his first start against the Fish this year. He didn't face him in that 4-game set at Marlins Park early in the year. Twice against them last season. 5 innings of 1-run ball here in July. So again, last time out, off to a great start. Just a couple of base runners through 5 innings, and the Phillies ambushed him in the 6th. Needs to turn the page on that. Yeah, I don't know that 200 innings is any more meaningful than 190 innings, but it's one of those kind of magic numbers guys point to.
Available in the Cubs bullpen today will be a right-hander named Chang Yong Lim, 37 years old, 17 years in Korea and Japan. Cubs signed him last year, coming off his 2nd Tommy John surgery. So he's on the roster. Michael Bowden designated for assignment. And the Cubs also claimed right-hander Daniel Bard off waivers from the Boston Red Sox. Cole Gillespie designated for assignment. He was in the original starting lineup. Let's check in on the Marlins Southwest starting lineup that will face Jeff Samardzija. Major League low 444 runs, but they've won the first 2 games of this series. Coghlan gets his 2nd straight start at third. Solano, 3 big hits last night. We mentioned Yelich in the open. Stanton, the right fielder. Ruggiano's in center. Logan Morrison again at first. Adeiny Echevarria is the shortstop. Former Cub Coy Hill will catch. He's a switch hitter. And Flynn at the bottom making his big league debut.
Cubs defensively, a late change with Gillespie being designated for assignment. He was in the original starting lineup. Sweeney will take the start. He'll play center field. Lakes in left. McDonald moves from left to right. Murphy, Castro, Barney, Rizzo on the infield. Yonder Navarro behind the plate today for our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher. And it is Jeff Samardzija, 28 years of age, 28 starts. He's 8-11 with a 4.13 earned run average.
Here are your umpires. Ed Hickox will work the plate. Jim Joyce, the crew chiefs at first. Jeff Nelson at second. Jim Wolf is over at third. Ed Hickox has had an interesting career and life. He worked the plate for Matt Garza's no-hitter in 2010. Same for Homer Bailey in 2012. So he's one of 5 active umpires who've been behind the plate for at least 2 no-hitters. Also was at first base for Jared Weaver's no-hitter last year, was at second base for the Clay Buchholz no-no in 07, and was at third base when Jim Abbott did it in 1993. So he's hit for the no-hitter cycle as an umpire.
Wonder if he has a low umpire's ERA. See if he has a big zone.
Coghlan will lead it off. Made a big play defensively on Anthony Rizzo last night to save a run in his third base debut at the big league level. 1 for 5 at the plate. Murphy in on the grass at third, and we're underway. It's a strike, well located on that outside corner.
A lot of different ways to define an ace. One of them is a guy who pitches a shutdown game when you need one, and the Cubs really need one. Jeopardy of being swept here by the Marlins in their home ballpark.
There are a couple of definitions of the term stopper in baseball. Sometimes closers are called stoppers. You stop a rally. I think the better definition is you stop a losing streak.
Yeah, that's the original definition of a stopper, was a starting pitcher who did just what I mentioned, comes out and just throws a shutdown game when his team is struggling. Says, okay, boys, jump on my shoulders and I'll take care of you here this afternoon.
2-2 on Coughlin. Upper 70s. Not much of a wind. It is coming out of the northwest at 5. It's pulled just foul.
Coughlin, line drive type hitter, doesn't hit for power.
And a ground ball to Darwin Barney. Goes 4-3 for the out. Now the second baseman Solano. 3 hits, 2 doubles, 2 knocked in game 2. High for ball 1.
His 2-run double in the 8th pretty much sealed the deal last night.
Dangerous Christian Yelich on deck. Swing and a miss. Good fastball at 93. 2-1. Samardzija from Valparaiso, Indiana. Three and 1. Former 2 sports star at Notre Dame. All-American wide receiver. Pitched for the Irish. Was all Big East on the baseball team. Ground ball, Castro ranging to his glove side, and that's the second out.
You think of Samardzija, you think of a strikeout pitcher. Those 2 starts that led to his winning the Player of the Week award against Washington and San Diego. He was very efficient. Struck out 12 combined in those 2 games in 17 innings. Got a lot of early contact through 105 innings in the complete game win over Washington and 106 pitches in the 8-inning effort against the Padres.
Swing and a miss on a cutter. Yelich 6 for 9 in the series. He's picked up 11 hits over his last 5 games.
11 out of 23 into multi-hit games. He wears his age on his back.
Number 21. Called strike 3. It's a good start for Jeff Samardzija. 1, 2, 3. Didn't hit a ball out of the infield. Ryan Flynn, the left-hander, against the Cubs offense.
Okay, it's the Built Ford Tough sales event, so let's crunch the numbers. See, when it comes to building stuff and hauling stuff to keep America growing, more folks count on Ford F-150. Hey, the numbers don't lie. And only Ford F-150 has the best combo of fuel economy and torque. That's EcoBoost technology, pal. Hey, it all adds up to one thing. We own work.
Get an F-150 with 0% financing for 60 months, or choose $6,000 in cash savings plus $2,000 extra for your trade.
Honey, you were right. Choosing Galaxy was a great decision.
Buying one window and getting the second for $1? I just can't stop smiling.
773-783-8300. Call Galaxy.
Chili's Triple Dipper now just $9.99. If you like options, we've got lots of them. Burger bites, boneless wings, potato skins, and more. Choose any 3 for just $9.99 for a limited time. Chili's Triple Dipper. More life happens here.
Humans. One day we're coming up with the theory of relativity, the next, not so much. But that's okay. You're covered with great ideas like optional better car replacement from Liberty Mutual Insurance. Total your car and we give you the money to buy one a model year newer. Learn about it at libertymutual.com. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy?
Marlins kept off the board by Jeff Samardzija. The Cubs will face a left-hander making his big league debut, Brian Flynn. Let's check out their Southwest starting lineup. Double play combo at the top. Castro and Barney. Rizzo, Navarro, 3 and 4. Donnie Murphy, the former Marlin, at third. Junior Lake gets the nod in left. Darnell McDonald over in right. Ryan Sweeney, a late insertion after Cole Gillespie was cut. And Samardzija, the pitcher.
Defense for the Fish. Yelich is the left fielder. Ruggiano center. Big arm on Giancarlo Stanton out there in right. Coughlin, his second major league start at third base. Number 1 came last night. Echevarria, very good feet at short. Solano, Morrison on the right side. Coy Hill, the veteran for the young left-hander. Alexis starting pitcher for the Marlins. Brian Flynn, 6-11 at AAA New Orleans, but a PCL leading 2.80 earned run average.
Yeah, forget the win-loss record. ERA terrific in a hitter's league. That's his first major league pitch. Fastball missing outside on Castro. He's 6'7", 239.
Big dude.
Castro chops to third. Knocked down, and Castro's safe. Coughlin kind of played that into a bad hop. It'll be an error.
He handled himself well at third base last night, although he did not look natural at third base. Had a long way to go here and just didn't get that glove out in front and handle that in between hop.
Well, I will tell you one thing. I don't know if Chris Coughlin will become a good third baseman, but he's working with one of the best infield instructors around, Perry Hill, who was also the Marlins first base coach. Darwin Barney takes ball 1.
Yeah, Perry's he's an infield guru. Flynn out there obviously battling some nerves. Very pumped up to be making his debut here at Wrigley Field. A big baseball fan. So he gets it, the whole aura of Wrigley.
From Owasso, Oklahoma. Thinking a lot about his dad before this start. His father, David, died in a car accident when Brian was 8. Remembers playing ball with his pop in the backyard. Credits his mom for finding the right coaching for him as he got older. His mom is here.
He's nowhere near as nervous as she is.
Coughlin gets another opportunity, and going to turn 2. Boy, it's been a tough series for Darwin Barney at the plate. He hits into a 5-4-3 double play.
Yeah, bounced into 2 double plays in the opener of this series. He hits this ball hard. Coughlin up to the task that time. So Flynn, he's a big guy. He's not overpowering. He's not going to be rushing it up there 95, 96 miles an hour. He uses his leverage to keep the ball down with a little sink. It's primarily fastball, slider, maybe a little curveball and change on occasion. Seventh-round pick of the Tigers, 2011, out of Wichita State. So this is his 3rd year in pro ball.
Came over in the Anibal Sanchez, Omar Infante deal, July of last year. 1-1 to Rizzo. 34 doubles. Puts him in the top 4 in the National League. And a scoreless first inning for the young left-hander Brian Flynn. 0-0 after 1.
Sometimes going to new places is the only way to truly arrive. Going new places, that's how we fly. Southwest Airlines now offers nonstop service from Midway to Charlotte and Rochester. If it matters to you, it matters to us. Book now online, only at southwest.com.
A new truck will go the extra mile to take care of the one you've got, and it could go the extra 100,000. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Keep your car running newer, longer. Firestone.
French fry burger, you blow my mind. Crispy fries on a fire grill patty, and for $1, what genius came up with you?
Mom, they stole my idea.
Genius.
Try the amazing new French fry burger, only $1. Burger King, where taste is king.
Unbelievable. In our day, we didn't have U-verse high-speed internet. Yeah, our babysitter didn't have a million ways to serve Mom up on a silver platter. We had to count sheep to fall asleep. And I always worried that I was creating an overcrowded sheep farm. In my head, never looked like that farmer took proper care of those sheep. Too much. A little.
Connect all your Wi-Fi enabled devices with U-verse high-speed internet. Rethink possible.
Save big money during the Menard Day sale. Update your flooring with pre-finished engineered hardwood flooring from Rapid Lock. It features quick and easy installation with no gluing or nailing required. Natural or Cambria flooring is just $1.99 a square foot, and hickory or acacia is only $2.99 a square foot. Add style and functionality with Frigid Air. This 21 cubic foot stainless steel top freezer refrigerator has humidity-controlled crisper drawers, now only $647.
Save big money at Menards.
Swing for the fences with a new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. Choose one of 32 Home Run Derby competitors, including everyone from the 2013 Derby. Available on iPhone and iPad and select Android devices. Download MLB.com's Home Run Derby game for free today. Giancarlo Stanton, 1 ball, 1 strike. He is 0 for 7 lifetime against Samardzija. Be a tough play for Murphy. Long throw, safe.
Big man moves well, a little tentative as he approached the bag. He tweaked his ankle the other day on a play going down the line where he stepped on the back of the base and had his ankle roll over a little bit. Long throw for Murphy, an infield hit for Stanton.
As he was standing at the plate, I could just picture Samardzija as the wide receiver coming over the middle and Stanton, the linebacker, lining him up.
Trying to put his helmet in his chest.
Called strike. Justin Ruggiano, who earlier this year had an 0 for 42 stretch. He got to within 3 hitless at bats of tying the major league record for a non-pitcher. That'll wallop your batting average.
Cause you to lose sleep too. Who's got that record?
I think Craig Counsell.
I knew Craig was making a run at it.
Maybe
Yeah.
Sue Campbell got close. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Samardzija. That's the first out here in inning number 2.
That elevated fastball. 92 on the gun. but good enough.
Logan Morrison sends a towering fly ball over the bleachers for a 2-run homer, and it's 2-0 Miami. Not that it matters. The wind has shifted. It is now blowing straight out. Started out of the northwest, kind of a cross breeze, but that would have been a home run probably in any sort of weather conditions.
You know, when we talk about don't throw him a cookie, this is what we're talking about. That was right over the happy zone. Ford home run replay. A belt tie fastball. And Morrison jumped all over it. It's a percentage play. Samardzija very aggressive quite often with that first pitch fastball, and it pays off for him. You know, he gets to jump on hitters. They're hitting him, in the low 100s against him, but he does give up a lot of damage on that 0-0 offering because of his aggressiveness.
One to Echevarria is fouled away. That one served out into right for a base hit in front of McDonald. Comes a former battery mate of Jeff Samardzija's, Coy Hill. Good to see Coy back in the big leagues. Parts of 6 seasons with the Cubs between 2007 and last year. 263 games. Doesn't give you much offensively, but calls a good game. Known for his defense. Real good guy to have in your clubhouse, too.
That's the 6th home run that Jeff has allowed on a first pitch of the 20 he's allowed. League was batting .396 against him when putting the first pitch in play.
Do you have the league average on overall first pitches in play?
I don't. We can find it's pretty high. Yeah, it's always up there, at least 340, 350ish. I'm guessing. But again, it's a percentage play because when he gets the jump on hitters after 0-1, they're hitting $193.
Hill swings and misses for strike 3.
It's oftentimes the key, though, to be able to throw strike 1 with either the breaking ball or a well-placed fastball to get the jump on the hitter without giving in over the heart of the plate. And this is a dandy splitter here. And Hill's out in front.
The first pitch major league average when you put a ball in play, 338.
Yeah.
0-1 is 311. 0-2 is 153. So in all counts, with 2 strikes, it's 179.
Hey, I recognize that swing.
Used to hit rockets into the upper deck.
He's been watching my instructional video. We like to call it the panic swing. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. Collapses the backside. Tremendous. Be a good hack in cricket.
You can drive yourself a little crazy looking at all the different numbers in the count, but we've done the run scoring expectancy, the matrix. It's all about outs more than bases, right? with fewer outs, your chances of scoring go up a lot, and they go down with outs. It's the same with the count. It's about strikes, not balls.
Controlling the count.
Absolutely. Well, Logan Morrison controlled his at-bat, a first pitch home run, and it's 2-0 Marlins.
You can choose to blend in. Or you can choose to blend out. The all-new 2014 Lexus IS. See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
We love our devices. Until we see the new one. Technology doesn't wait. Why should you? Introducing AT&T Next, a new way to get a new device every year. 0 down payment, no upgrade fee, no activation fee, no financing fee. It's time to rethink how you get a new device.
With Luna, buy one room of flooring, get all other rooms of product for just $50 each. There's no limit. $50 each room. Call Luna now for your free in-home estimate.
773-202. Luna.
Wow, those sandwiches look amazingly expensive. Wendy's, so just amazing.
Oh yeah. Introducing Wendy's Flatbread Grilled Chicken. Warm flatbread sandwiches in 2 bold new tastes.
Now that's better.
Welcome back. Cub fans, be sure to celebrate Oktoberfest in the Budweiser bleachers during the last regular season night game of the year at Wrigley Field. Tuesday, September 24th, Cubs battle the Pirates. It's Oktoberfest celebration night. You won't want to miss it. Purchase your special Budweiser bleacher tickets through the special events page to redeem an exclusive limited edition Cubs Stein. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit cubs.com/special events. Well, they'll be doing the chicken dance in the bleachers that night.
Make sure you send us your comments on today's game through Twitter. You can use #CubsTalk, and we will read our AT&T tweet of the game a little bit later. Flynn in his big league debut working with a 2-0 lead. Gets Leonard Navarro to swing and miss. Navarro hitting right-handed, 61 plate appearances this year. Hitting .392 with a .492 on base and a .647 slugging percentage. One ball, one strike. Lifted foul out of play. It's 1-2.
Nice day to be out, soak up some rays. Supposed to be hot over the weekend with the Brewers in town.
Two and two. Murphy and Lake also due up.
Got to believe advantage Flynn first time through the batting order as the Cubs get their first look at him. They may have had some video, certainly had some scouting reports on him. Bit of an unknown quantity.
On a hop, Echevarria makes the play.
It's pretty slick out there at short. A little snatch on this one, didn't need it. This is just for looks, for effect. Style points. getting low so he could peer through the screen and make the save.
Here's Murphy, a modest 6-game hitting streak. I say modest because it's a hit per game. He's hitting .273 during the streak. Not all hitting streaks are created equal. 2-0.
Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. I believe he struck out 4 times, maybe.
Incredible. And after it was broken, then he went on, didn't he?
Yeah,
like a 20-gamer right after that.
Long streak, yeah.
Flynn doesn't take a lot of time between pitches. No chance to get nervous, I suppose. 3-1. There's Lake on deck. Foul back up our way.
Yeah, he adheres to the old work quickly, throw strikes, Babe Ruth is dead philosophy.
What did they say while the Babe was still alive? All of that except the last part?
Yeah, it probably said home run Baker or something.
So Flynn comes back and strikes out Murphy.
Work quickly, throw strikes to everybody but the Babe.
Right. Makes sense. Here's Lake.
T-shirt Ray Miller had made up years ago when he was the pitching coach of the Pirates. The work quickly, Babe Ruth is dead philosophy.
Probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to work quickly even when facing Babe Ruth. If he's going to get you, at least it'd be quick.
Yeah, and
maybe not painless, but he'd get you fast.
And the same rules applied to Babe that applied to everybody else. If you were ahead of him, you had a better chance of finishing him off. I mean, the more baseball you watch, the more you appreciate the guys who do pitch with some pace.
Crack bat, base hit. Lake will make an aggressive turn on his way to second with a double. First hit for the Cubs today.
If it cracked his bat, but if it did, it died a hero. 2-out double for Lake. And another cutter or slider moving in toward the hands. Now with 2 outs, you're less likely to try it, but I think Flynn, this big lefty, would be vulnerable to a steal of third. Something to keep an eye on later in the ball game, and in a 1-out situation where there's a lot of value in getting third base, be worth a try.
One strike on McDonald. He's playing right. Decent chance these guys faced each other in the Pacific Coast League earlier this year. Donald with Iowa, Flynn with New Orleans. Tap foul. Flynn began the year at Double-A Jacksonville. 4 starts, a 157 before moving up a level. First Marlin starting pitcher to make his big league debut against the Cubs since Logan Kensing in 2004, and I remember that particular debut vividly. It did not go well for Kensing. September of 04, made the jump from single A to the bigs. The Marlins had a pitching shortage. It's right after Hurricane Francis. So had a real cramped schedule. I seem to recall the Marlins played 30 games in their last 27 days.
That's a grind. I don't remember Hurricane Francis.
I do.
What year was it?
04. There were 2 of them. I think it was Francis and Gene that had the same path. Made landfall in Stuart, Florida, 3 weeks to almost the minute apart. Cubs and Marlins were washed out in Miami. They ended up making up that series by playing an extra game here. And then the Cubs, I know, had to, in the middle of a road trip, fly to Miami for 1 day for a doubleheader. And the Marlins played the Expos on the south side of Chicago.
Now that rings a bell.
McDonald shoots that one out toward the alley, and it's going to get down, and the Cubs are on the board. Back-to-back 2-out doubles. And it's now 2-1.
First RBI in a Cub uniform for Darnell McDonald. Couple of good 2-out swings against the young lefty.
Yeah, so I've called Marlins Expos in Chicago and Cubs Astros in Milwaukee, both after hurricanes. Bizarre.
Yeah, the Hurricane Ike game, that was really bizarre. And Zambrano ends up throwing a no-hitter.
Down by Hill.
It's one where I had 2 different shoes on. We left Houston.
You had packed in the dark.
Yeah, there was no power. Got the word late that we were heading to Milwaukee to play that series. Threw some things together, threw my shoes on, and they actually opened up a line at the airport for us, even though the airport was closed, to go through. And I took my shoes off to put them on the belt. They were 2 completely different shoes.
The good news is you had another pair just like it at home.
Yeah, and it was a little bit of a fashion trend. I mean, why do we have to wear a matching pair if you think about it?
Was that a popular topic on that trip?
It was, yeah.
Flynn's 3-0 caught the outside corner on Sweeney.
Matter of fact, I'm going to start a movement. The unpaired shoe movement.
Were they both the same shade of like brown?
Yeah, they were both dark.
Okay. Wasn't like a black and a brown.
No.
Ball 4. That'll get Samardzija to the plate. Mike Redmond pairing the veteran catcher Hill with the rookie Flynn. I'm sure they work together at AAA as well.
And Hill out there to talk to his young lefty and just to settle him down a little bit, and maybe just a little cautionary advice, like, hey, don't get too aggressive here, because Samardzija is going to come up here hacking. He's going to try to hit one to the moon, so make sure you make a pitch here.
Driven to right, but Stanton is there to make the play. The Cubs with a couple of doubles coming with 2 outs. McDonald knocking in Lake, and it's now 2-1 Marlins.
When the typical sales event just isn't big enough, it's time to head to your Hyundai dealer for the event. Come in and find amazing deals all over the lot, like a new Elantra with an EPA estimated 38 mpg highway. You'll save even more. You won't believe the great deals waiting for you at the event, but only at your Hyundai dealer. Get an Elantra for 0% APR plus a $500 valued owner coupon, but only at your local Hyundai dealer.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Looking for the ultimate sleep experience?
Ask me what it's like to get your best night's sleep every night.
Come to Sleepy's today during the Share the Temper Love event.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Ask me about staying asleep. For the first time ever, get a free twin-size Tempur Simplicity mattress when you buy a Tempur-Pedic mattress set.
Ask me why someone who's never had an ache or a pain is in love with this bed.
For a limited time only at Sleepy's, the mattress professionals.
Sons of Anarchy premieres Tuesday at 10, only on FX.
Welcome back. Don't miss the action as the Cubs take on the Brewers this Saturday. Game time is 3:05. Come early. Bring the kiddos. First 4,000 children 13 and younger will receive limited edition American Girl doll-size Cubs apparel. Please note the doll and shoes are not included. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Top of the order, second time through for the Marlins against Jeff Samardzija. Gave up a 2-run homer to Logan Morrison in the second. We're now in the third, and Chris Coghlan turns on one. Right field corner, foul. Just out of play. Loud foul strike on Coghlan.
Coghlan, the 2009 Rookie of the Year in the National League. When I think of Coghlan, I think of a guy who sprays the ball around the field. But you know, Samardzija likes to throw that cutter in on left-handed hitters. He may have been cheating a little bit there. Looking in.
Ground ball to second. It's Barney. And talking about Flynn losing his dad when he was 8. Well, Jeff Samardzija went through something similar when he was 16. He lost his mom, Deborah, back in 2001. Pretty devastating for him. He passed away after battling a respiratory illness. Jeff actually sponsors a scholarship at Notre Dame that goes to a student who has lost a parent. Solano fouls. 0-2 the count. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. Pretty good, didn't get it. 1-2.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Maybe it fooled Ed Hickox. They had a lot of tailing action right back over the plate.
Had a lot of plate too.
Took him one extra pitch. A little something extra on it at 95 for his 5th strikeout.
And he got all cylinders going now. Fastball really jumping out of his hand. Didn't get the call. Comes back with 95 and throws it right by him.
Oh yeah, you didn't like that last one? How about this one? Yelich fouls off. 1-2. Final game of the season series. Knotted up at 3 apiece. Cubs won 3 of 4 in Miami in April. The Marlins have won the first 2 in this series. Samardzija looking really good here. Made the one mistake to Morrison, but he's got 6 strikeouts through 3. 2-1 Miami.
This big and toasted is better than ever. Gotta be the steak.
Oh, it's the steak. Maybe it's the ambiance or the witty banter. No, it's a steak.
It's definitely a steak, man.
Ambiance. The witty banter. Ambiance means cheese, right?
The new Angus Steak Big and Toasted is even better. Now with Angus steak, egg, and cheese on thick Texas toast. It's big on steak, huge on delicious. Grab one today. America runs on Dunkin'. Hurry in today for Dunkin's new Angus Steak Big and Toasted breakfast sandwich.
There's a first time for everything. We achieve goals. Celebrate. Cherish and protect what really matters.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
This Sunday, start your game day with the premiere of Bears Pregame Live on Comcast Sportsnet. Bowden, Jiggs, and Miller bring you the most in-depth Bears game day coverage from the Chicago perspective. Bears Pregame Live premieres Sunday at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Today, stick around for the return of Bears Huddle on Comcast Sportsnet. Join Bowden and Jiggs as they preview the Bears offense going into Sunday's matchup with the Bengals. Gear up for week 1 with Bears Huddle today after Cubs post-game live on Comcast Sportsnet. NFL season starts tomorrow night. Ravens and Broncos. Wow. Where has the summer gone?
Yeah, we're getting towards the end of the marathon. Now it's a sprint or a limp.
Although I would
depending
say,
on where you are.
Yeah, I would say September, October, early November is the best time of year to be in Chicago. Changing of the seasons. Castro up in the air out into deep right center. That ball way back there and into the basket. It's a home run. And we're tied at 2. That's his 9th of the year.
Went a long time between 7 and 8, but he has been swinging the bat with much more authority in recent games, driving the ball. Chance to really finish up on a strong note. Here it is, our 4th home run replay. Flynn catches maybe a little bit too much of the plate, but a good swing of the bat by Castro. 2-0 fastballs tend to get hit hard.
Barney bounces, backhanded by the shortstop Echevarria, and he throws him out. Boy, really positive development. Starlin Castro on this homestand. He's hit in all 6 games. Nine homers, 8 here at home for Castro. Go back to even. The 0-1 to Rizzo's a strike. Flynn coming back on an 0-2. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. They're already in the bottom of the 9th in Atlanta. The Mets leading the Braves 5-1. Duda and Brown have homered for the Mets. Barehanded play, Solano, and he gets him. It's Andrew Brown, Lucas Duda, each homering for the Mets.
September's the time of the year when you're looking at the box scores and you're reading out-of-town scores. You go, who's that?
Yeah, you
double check. Who's that guy?
You see a surname that looks vaguely familiar, but you're trying to figure out the first name. Well, Alex Presley hitting his first homer as a Twin since being acquired from the Pirates. Twins and Astros tied at 3 early on in Houston. Go to the bottom of the 3rd in that one. Two and 1 on Navarro.
Clubs played 12 innings last night. Twins looking to sweep that series. 10-6 on Monday, 9-6 in 12 last night, 3-3 already in the 3rd. The points going up on the board.
High deep drive, Deanna Navarro way back there, out of here. Cubs lead 3-2. That's his 12th of the year.
More of a gentle breeze in the ballpark right now than a strong wind. Flynn learning you got to be careful against big league hitters. Castro got him. Now Navarro, who has been so good from the right side. Ball's up in his eyes. Ford home run replay showing Navarro going deep for the 12th time.
Just to the left of the batter's eye.
Extending his career high.
Oh, and 2 on Murphy. Couple of homers here in the 3rd, and the Cubs tying it and taking the lead.
That's what they do. The Cubs have been a very home run dependent team this year.
This time Ruggiano will make the catch, and the inning comes to an end. Cubs trailed 2-0 in the 2nd. They got on the board on the McDonald double. Castro leading off the 3rd with a home run. Then Deanna Navarro 3 batters later, giving the Cubs their first lead today.
So your favorite song comes on the radio. You get the express elevator and the last pink cupcake. And you're just gonna go about your day like nothing happened? You think maybe, just maybe, it's a good day to play? Lucky Day Lotto. It might be your day.
Sometimes the little things last the longest. Give extra, get extra.
You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know That's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
Tonight, the White Sox look to close out their series in New York on a high note. Tune in as Paulie and the boys take aim at Cano and the Yankees. Don't miss White Sox Yankees tonight at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet.
This fourth inning is brought to you by the new Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Liv Moss. The Menards grounds crew in slow-mo. Taking care of that infield dirt before the ball game. So Samardzija now with a lead. One strike on Giancarlo Stanton. He led off the second with an infield hit. Scored on the Morrison two-run homer. Way outside. A ball and a strike. Giancarlo Cruz Michael Stanton. Used to go by Mike.
I wonder if his numbers were better as Mike or as Giancarlo. But last year he led the league.
Yeah.
Led all of Major League Baseball in slugging. So.
I'm going to say Giancarlo. Two previous Mike Stantons. Both were pitchers, a righty and a lefty.
Lefty had a very long Major League career.
Swung on and missed. Strike three for strikeout number 7. Samardzija has punched out 3 in a row. And 1, 2, 5 of the last 6 batters he's faced.
Split finger pitch. He was trying to go down and away with it. Didn't get that, but the off-speed nature of the pitch good enough to fool Stanton.
Swinging strike on Ruggiano. This is the kind of day, and now with a lead, JD, and the way Samardzija has looked early, you'd really like him to just dominate this lineup. Two and one.
Yes, but I recall having that conversation not too long ago.
We did.
You hope for it. Sometimes you expect it, but you don't always get it. Might have been his start in Philadelphia. That club had really been struggling. He gave up 9 in that game.
Jeff had a 3.35 ERA in April, only went 1-4. Had a 2.31 in May, June 4.20, and then over 5 each of the last 2 months. He had 22 strikeouts combined in his first 2 starts of the year. A win at Pittsburgh and a loss in Atlanta. Ball 4.
Man, that couldn't have been off the plate by much. Maybe a little low. Ruggiano strikes out a lot. He'll also take his walks. He's got 1 of each today.
Morrison with the long 2-run homer in his first at bat.
Yeah, that game in Atlanta is still one of the most bizarre games I've seen in a while. 13 strikeouts for Jeff in 5 2/3.
So he got 17 outs, 13 of them on the strikeout. Lifted high in the air. Shallow left center. And Lake, who's been playing a lot of center lately, takes it away from Sweeney. Tickets are still available for these September games, so don't miss your chance to enjoy Wrigley Field before the summer is over. The Cubs finish off this homestand with a 3-game weekend set against the Milwaukee Brewers. And then the final homestand begins September 20th and will feature games against probable playoff teams Atlanta and Pittsburgh. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. After today, only 9 home games, 3 series left here at Wrigley. And 20 of the final 23 will be against the NL Central. The only non-division games will be versus the Braves. 1-0 on Echevarria.
Now we'll be able to make our final assessments on all these teams heading to the postseason. We can make very clever comments about their chances of winning in the postseason and then be dead wrong. Because once you get into the postseason, all bets are off.
Two and 0. That one in there. It's 2-1.
Keep waiting for the Dodgers to cool off. That hasn't happened. They've won 6 in a row.
It's one streak after another. The catcher Hill is on deck. Ruggiano the runner at first, and he takes off. There's a ground ball and a little slip by Barney, and he can't get it. So a little 2-out run and hit on a 3-1. That would have been an easy ground ball out had the runner not been going. Sometimes it's hard to quantify when a manager's doing a good job, but you'd have to say Mike Redmond pulled the right string there, didn't he?
Yeah, sure did. Starting the base runner, Barney breaks to cover the bag, creates an opening on the right side for Echevarria. Doesn't hit the ball very hard at all, but didn't need to.
So Hill bats with runners at the corners. Swing and a miss.
Coverage at second base with a base runner going there is determined by a lot of factors. Shortstop and second baseman get together and communicate who the hitter is, the count, the pitch selection.
Our AT&T U-verse multi-view. Cubs leading by a run. Marlins with a 2-out rally.
3-1 looked like a fastball in. They thought Echevarria was more likely to pull the ball on the ground than hit it the other way, so they had Barney covering, and Echevarria able to just push that ball to the right side.
Marlins with an all Wichita State battery today.
Shocking.
That's good. Call strike 3. That's not shocking. That's 8 punch outs for Jeff Samardzija. They strand the tying run at third base. 3-2 Cubs.
Unbelievable. In our day, we didn't have U-verse high-speed internet.
Yeah, Our babysitter didn't have a million ways to serve Mom up on a silver platter.
We had to count sheep to fall asleep.
And I always worried that I was creating an overcrowded sheep farm. In my head, never looked like that farmer took proper care of those sheep. Too much. A little.
Connect all your Wi-Fi enabled devices with UVerse high-speed internet. Rethink possible.
French fry burger, you blow my mind. Crispy fries on a fire grilled patty, and for $1, what genius came up with you?
Mom, they stole my idea.
Genius.
Try the amazing new French fry burger, only $1. Burger King, where taste is king.
It's time to head someplace new, wherever that may be. The all-new 2014 Mitsubishi Outlander, named an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. Lease one now for as low as $219 a month at your local Mitsubishi dealer.
I returned in Djibouti, Africa, 2004.
Vietnam in 1972.
Fort Benning, Georgia in 1999.
USAA auto insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve military members, veterans, and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
Welcome back. Cubs lead 3-2. Bottom of the fourth. Qdoba Mexican Grill wants to spread their 3-cheese queso love to the Chicagoland area. Opt into Qdoba's mobile club by texting Q to 50500 to receive free chips and queso. That sounds good on a day like today. On the rocks, a little salt, chips and queso, a little guacamole.
Yeah.
A little hardball.
Ryan Flynn in the scoreless first, but gave up 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and now faces Junior Lake in the fourth. Flynn making his major league debut. Lake shows bunt. Takes it for a ball.
Fatigue oftentimes comes early for a young pitcher, a guy making his debut. All the nerves, the anxiety throughout the day. Maybe didn't sleep well last night. Big rush of adrenaline early and then kind of hit a wall.
Brendan Neely checking in. Flew in from Texas with his dad to catch the game today here at Wrigley. Rainbow to center. Ruggiano went back, now comes in to make the catch. One out in the inning, and it's McDonald who knocked in the first Cubs run in the second with a double. Chopped foul. Did you see the great Jim Leland quote on run support?
I read a story, yes.
Before Max Scherzer started and lost 2-1 to the Red Sox last night, Leland was asked about the run support. I guess Scherzer's getting the best run support in the majors. I mean, his ERA is under 3, so it's not as if he's needed all that support. Quote, some people could find a flaw in Bo Derek. That's a base hit. McDonald is 2 for 2. I just like the fact that he
references Bo Derek.
Yeah.
Going into the Wayback Machine.
He is. And I'm with you, Jim. I'm with you. Leland, not a real proponent of some of the new school stats. He said, quote, "I don't believe in any of that stuff. I won't listen to any of it. I have no interest in talking about it. You can figure out whatever you want. My view of pitchers' stats is this. Did he give us a chance to win? If he did that on any kind of consistent basis, for me, he's been a very good pitcher. I also like guys that win. I'd rather have a pitcher nobody's talking about who has won 15 games and somebody everyone's raving about who's won 5.
Yeah, well,
I love Jim, but I disagree with him on that.
Yeah, I get his point to a degree. I mean, if we're just talking about analyzing pitchers, it's the wins is probably the least reliable way to evaluate a starting pitcher.
Well, I think he's scoffing at the idea that I think what he's taking is the question about run support and overreacting to the idea that people are criticizing Scherzer, which I don't think they are. And as you mentioned recently, Scherzer would be the first one to tell you that the one-loss record is not the best indicator of the season he's had.
Yeah, and that's the irony. Scherzer's a guy who does believe in the analytical approach to evaluating players. And yeah, but his peripheral, all of his other numbers are great.
Yep.
I mean, you could make the case that he's not the best pitcher in the American League this year, but you can't make the case that he's not one of the 5 best.
Sweeney walks, 2 on for Samardzija. Second time Ryan has taken a free pass ahead of the pitcher.
At the same time, if somebody were to go to Jim and say, hey, boy, that Chris Sale's not a very good pitcher, is he? He's 10-12. Jimmy would say, wait a minute, he's probably not getting any run support.
Yeah, exactly. Bunted by Samardzija right to the third baseman Coughlin. That's exactly what he was trying to do, and he moves both runners up a base.
That was a clinic there. Be ready to bunt, get a strike, put it down. Puts it down in the right direction, too. Well, a while back, situation like that, Dale might have said, go ahead, swing the bat. There's already 1 out in the inning. Castro has struggled mightily this year, but the way Starlin's swinging it lately changes the thinking a little bit. And most recently, he did this on a 2-0 fastball in the 3rd. Favorite part of the ballpark, right center.
Called strike. Inside, 1-1.
Escape foiled.
Lined to right, but Stanton is there. Boy, Castro really squaring it up over the last couple of weeks. That's good to see. Keep doing that, Starlin. Don't worry about making it out. 3-2 Cubs.
Sometimes going to new places is the only way to truly arrive. Going new places, that's how we fly. Southwest Airlines now offers nonstop service from Midway to Charlotte and Rochester. If it matters to you, it matters to us. Book now online, only at southwest.com.
Do you need one-stop car shopping? Go to GaryLangAuto.com for all your car shopping needs. And you can do all this. At GaryLangAuto.com, choose from hundreds of Chevys, Buicks, Cadillacs, GMCs, and more. Or choose from our huge selection of Subarus, Kias, or Mitsubishis. See why we're McHenry County's #1 dealer at GaryLangAuto.com. And remember,
if it doesn't say Gary Lang on the back, you probably heard too much.
Incoming DeKalb dealer message.
Hi, Wes. I have your custom farm solution ready.
Welcome to tomorrow, today, where breeding and trait innovations beyond imagination have taken root. Welcome to the possibilities of future farming, already growing at DeKalb. Strong past, powerful future.
Saturday, don't miss a division battle on Comcast Sportsnet as the Cubs take on the Brewers right here at the Friendly Confines. Coverage begins at 2:30 with Papa John's pregame live. Cubs Brewers Saturday 2:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. That would be Jake Arrieta, Johnny Hellweg.
Hellweg, the Pacific Coast League Pitcher of the Year, struggled in his first go-round in the bigs. 1-0 on Brian Flynn. Call strike. It's 1-1. We're in the 5th inning. Cubs leading 3-2. Laced foul into the Cubs pen.
I don't think he's going to pull him.
The wind and the 1-2 is high. Flynn a little pesky.
Pesky term we usually don't use on a 6'8", 240-pound hitter. As long as you can't finish him, though.
Just punches that one over. Starlin Castro for his first major league hit. That actually looked like he knew what he was doing.
Well, you know, he went into two-strike mode, I think, pretty much throughout that at bat, and Jeff just did him a favor with that high fastball. All he has to do is just kind of lay the barrel on it. Anything down, he wasn't going to get to. Sticks his butt out and punches it over shortstop for a hit.
That'll make you talk to yourself as a starting pitcher. You give up a 2-strike hit to the opposing pitcher. So it's Coughlin. Big swing and a miss.
Coughlin looks like he's been trying to turn on the ball all day.
grounded out twice to second. Another one here would probably mean 2 outs. 0-2. Hey, when you make net purchases of $20 or more and show us your receipts, we'll deposit $20 into your U.S. Bank checking or savings account. It's our special thank you for becoming a new credit card customer. Outside for a ball. There's the newest Cub, Chang Yong Lim, and sitting to his right is Coughlin with a wild strike 3 swing. Tae Kim, his interpreter. Lim is 37 years old, wearing number 12. Mr. Zero.
Good numbers. 11 games at Iowa, low ERA, long time career in Korea and Japan, and then worked his way through the Cubs minor league system this year, coming back from Tommy John surgery.
The second such operation of his career. Come at you from different arm angles. I asked Chris Bosio, what does he throw? And Chris said everything. He was a little coy when the reporters asked him, what's your repertoire? And essentially the answer was, wait and see. The hitters don't know me yet. I said it with a laugh, but considering the body of work, I'm sure every major league team has a scouting report on him from his time in Japan and Korea.
Yeah, there's no surprises anymore.
Flynn at first, 1 out and a 1-1. Double play chance. 6-4-3, and that's the inning. Pitcher's best friend, that double play ball. Cubs leading the Marlins 3-2 in the 5th.
Need a reason to drive a Ford with EcoBoost technology? I got 10.
I feel like I'm driving a race car.
More horsepower and more gas mileage. It's just a great combination.
Another great thing, Ford mileage beats Toyota in every segment we compete. Moving on.
Handling.
Sleek and cool.
Technology.
Assisted parking. Feels safe.
And finally, drum roll please.
Getting that kind of gas mileage is awesome.
Bingo.
Get a Ford Focus with 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,500 bonus cash.
Humans. Even when we cross our T's and dot our I's, we still run into problems. Namely, other humans. Which is why at Liberty Mutual Insurance, auto policies come with new car replacement and accident forgiveness if you qualify. See what else comes standard at libertymutual.com. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy?
David Kaplan with a Coors Light Sportsnet Central update. The Cubs have acquired relief pitcher Daniel Bard from the Boston Red Sox. He was Boston's first pick in the 06 draft under the watch of Theo Epstein and Jason McLeod. Bard, a dominant setup guy for the Bo Sox from 09 To make room for Bard, Cole Gillespie designated for assignment. That and a whole lot more. Sportsnet Central later tonight. Now back to the ballpark. Here's Len and Jim DeShays.
Construction for the 2014 spring training home of the Chicago Cubs is nearly complete. The new Mesa facility will have features reminiscent of Wrigley Field with a unique Arizona feel. Fans can place a $100 refundable deposit to secure their priority seating for season tickets. The seating selection process begins this fall. For details, go to Cubs.com/Mesa. Cubs leading 3-2, trying to add on against a rookie named Brian Flynn. First pitch strike to Darwin Barney. He's grounded out twice, once into a double play. Scuffling now 4 for his last 34. Here's a pitch. There's a base hit. Long run over for Ruggiano. Barney is going to get second as the ball got away from Ruggiano. It's a double.
Base runners in every inning against the young left-hander. He pitched around an error in the first, but the Cubs have had a lot of traffic this afternoon. There's a leadoff double by Barney. He was going to get there even without the mishandle by Ruggiano out there in center, primarily because he was thinking double out of the box. As soon as he saw it headed towards the alley, he was thinking 2 bases.
Outside, a slider to Rizzo. Bunch of minor league notes for you today. Inside. Yesterday, the Cubs named Chris Bryant of Daytona, third baseman, and his teammate Pierce Johnson, the right-handed pitcher, the minor league player and pitcher of the month for August. D-Cubs in the playoffs. One of 3 Cubs affiliates to make the postseason. Chris Hatcher, former big league catcher, is up in the bullpen for Miami. Tennessee at AA will start its playoff series with Birmingham in the Southern League playoffs tomorrow. It's a best of 5. Third baseman Christian Villanueva named the Southern League Hitter of the Week. Last week hit 3 homers. That's a strike. Corey Black, 5 shutout innings as Daytona beat Dunedin. Start the best of 3 playoff series in the Florida State League. So they stay hot going back to the regular season. The D-Cubs have won 12 of their last 13.
Chris Bryant, the Cubs' first pick in the draft this year. .336 batting average, 9 home runs, 32 driven in, and 128 minor league at-bats this year.
Pretty good first year. And he had 2 hits last night. Boise with a 3-0 shutout win over Salem Kaiser. That's a best of 3, so they can clinch tonight on the road. Paul Blackburn, 7 shutout innings, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Just missed. It's 3-2. So again, Tennessee starts tomorrow. Daytona and Boise getting the jump in there. Best of 3 playoff sets. Ball 4. Deanna Navarro Giving the Cubs the lead with a home run, our Coors Light freeze cam. Let's talk location.
Let's up, and a lot of guys aren't going to get to that ball. They're going to pop it up. They're going to swing through it. But he's shown the ability from the right side of the plate to get on top of that high fastball and hit it hard, as he certainly did in this instance. Talked earlier about Flynn having the advantage first time through the batting order, but now they're getting their third look at him. Redmond might be ready to make a move.
Flynn was ready to hand him the ball, and I think Mike said, not just yet, son.
We're trying to buy a little time.
In the blue horizontal stripes, blue and white stripes, that's his mom, Michelle. So his major league debut in the books. He'll leave trailing 3-2. On to call to the pen time. The Cubs trying to add on to their lead when we come back.
Go Olive Garden for new lunch combinations starting at $6.99. Create your favorite combination like new chicken parmigiana sandwich paired with unlimited soup or salad. Even more lunch combinations starting at $6.99. Go Olive Garden.
Save big money during the Menard Day sale. Get the best brands, best quality, best price period with Dutch Boy Max Bond Exterior. It has a no prep, no prime formula, providing superior coverage on previously painted and chalky surfaces. Save $7 a gallon. That's $35 on 5-gallon pails. Organize your closets with Rubbermaid. Choose from wardrobe, linen, and free slide wire shelving, all on sale. And this 5 to 8 foot closet organizer kit is $24.99.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you a homeowner juggling your mortgage and credit cards, late on your house payments with creditors calling and threatening you? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Our Chapter 13 plans can give you a lower payment for all debt and help with modification, as little as 10 cents on the dollar for credit cards. Call us for a free phone mini consultation or click on to infotapes.com.
If you're worried about debt, call now to see if you qualify. 1-800-401-4010.
Chili's Triple Dipper now just $9.99. If you like options, we've got lots of them. Burger bites, boneless wings, potato skins, and more. Choose any 3 for just $9.99 for a limited time. Chili's Triple Dipper. More life happens here.
Time for the Honda call to the pen. Pretty interesting guy. Chris Hatcher, who made his major league debut in 2010 against the Cubs as a catcher. But then the following year converted to a full-time pitcher and made his major league pitching debut against the Cubs here at Wrigley Field. It was a 1-2-3 inning. First player to catch in the majors one year, returned the next year as a pitcher since Art Dahl in 1936. And a strike called on Tiana Navarro.
95 miles an hour at the knees on the corner. A good start for the former catcher. 33 saves this year for their AAA club in New Orleans to tie Pacific Coast League record.
Quickly 0-2. Nobody out. Golden chance here to tack on some runs to a 1-run edge.
That feels like a more comfortable Cubs lead, but it's just 1 run.
Popped into shallow right. And a great play by Solano running away from home plate. The basket grab.
He's been impressive in this series, both at the plate and in the field. And this is a sweetheart of a play. Tough chance. Had a long way to go, peering back up into that bright sky. Well done.
Murphy with 1 out. While he was still catching, Hatcher at the AA level hit a game-ending homer against the Cubs AA affiliate Tennessee in the bottom of the 9th in Game 4 of the Southern League Championship Series to clinch the league title. Was with Jacksonville. He was a career .210 hitter in the minors. If you're going to hit .210 in the minors, you better be the best defensive catcher in the world to make it to this level. Second appearance of the year for Hatcher at this big league level. Foul by Murphy.
The 5th round pick in 2006. A lot of times too they'll draft a guy with that arm, you know, so well, he's a catcher. This doesn't pan out. You put 95 on the hill and see how that works. A lot of the position players turned pitchers were catchers.
Strong arm.
Strong arms. That never developed.
Should have a handle on pitch sequences and the like as a catcher.
Kind of a max effort guy. That's okay. Typically pitches an inning at a time. Doesn't need to save energy. Cut it loose, throw it down around the knees at 95 with good movement. You got a pretty good chance of being successful.
Stanton in right. Barney back to tag. He'll jog to third. Got the corners covered with 2 outs for Junior Lake. Boy, you'd hate to miss out an opportunity to add on, especially getting into the middle of the order. It's going to take Junior Lake with 2 outs to come up with a big hit.
It's against that stiff front leg.
Pitch. Big swing by Lake. Foul tipped it. .96 at the knees.
Well, there's nothing devious about him, is there? He's not trying to trick anybody.
Foul tip on a riser to end the inning. Hopefully that inning does not come back to haunt the Cubs later. They had the first 2 on but could not score. They do lead 3-2 after 5.
$5 foot long. $5 foot long.
Footlong Nation rejoice. Right now at Subway, any regular footlong is a $5 footlong, all September long. Like the turkey breast, meatball marinara, and even the kickin' buffalo chicken. With tons of $5 footlongs, we need an entire month to celebrate.
Subway, eat fresh.
Today my journey brings me to Charlotte, North Carolina, where I spent a day with Geico driver Casey Mears. I told him the secret to saving money on car insurance. He told me the secret to his car setup. First, he adjusts his speed. And a quarter cup of pineapple juice. Or was that the secret to his barbecue sauce?
Hey, secret sauce.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Save big money during the Menard Days sale. Update your entryway with Larson Storm Doors. The Lakeview has a maintenance-free finish with dual weather stripping and a screen-away retractable screen. Only $259. Other colors are also on sale. Make your backyard a bite-free zone with Cutter Backyard Bug Control. It removes insects and controls for 8 weeks. A 32-ounce bottle treats up to 5,000 square feet. Right now, only $688.
Save big money at Menards.
Saturday. Don't miss a division battle on Comcast Sportsnet as Aramis Ramirez and the rival Brewers pay a visit to the friendly confines. Coverage begins at 2:30 with Papa John's Pregame Live. Cubs, Brewers, Saturday at 2:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back. Sunday, don't miss the premiere of Bears Pregame Live on Comcast Sportsnet. CSN is your new home for the most comprehensive Bears game day coverage from a Chicago perspective. Join Chris Bowden and former Bears Dan Jiggets and Jim Miller for Bears Pregame Live Sunday at 11, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Ivy's still green, but we're getting close to that point in the summer where it's going to start to change.
Baseball season is like a life, Len. Conceived in the winter. Spring training is pregnancy. Born on opening day. Now we head towards its fateful conclusion.
And then we start the process all over again.
Reborn.
Yeah.
Every March. That's all I got.
Very eloquent. One quick out. Here's Stanton. Inside for ball one.
And that's, you know, for those of us who follow the big league club on a daily basis, but you know, the decision makers, the front office people, it never ends for them. It's a, you know, they get cranked up, they get busy. Sometimes their winter is busier than their summer.
Well, and you can tell by all the roster moves. I mean, they are leaving no stone unturned in their quest to add impact talent to this organization. Samar just won one. Look out. The bat let fly in and hit a little guy. I hope he's all right. Man, oh man. Ugh. Stanton put his hands on his helmet. And a lot of concern here.
Dad taking that little guy quickly out of the seating area and down the concourse, and he'll get some medical attention. That's very unsettling.
Here's a 1-2 to Stanton. And a bouncer into left for a base hit. Comes Ruziano. Here's the pitch. Bounced foul. Heater inside. 1-1. Each team with 6 hits. Morrison with his 5th home run. That was in the 2nd. The Cubs have had a couple. Castro and Navarro. Castro is 9th. Navarro his 12th. Both in the 3rd.
Marlins had these Marlin hitters off balance all day. That combination of mid-90s fastball and the good split. One of them caught in between. Carlos Stanton, big guy, but he runs pretty well. He's not a base stealer, but he's not a base clogger either.
Not much of a lead over there. And a ground ball into center. Back-to-back singles. The Cubs unable to add on in the 5th. Now all of a sudden the Marlins threatening here in the 6th.
Jeff had 92 pitches now. It's a warm day. He's in fantastic shape, so fatigue really shouldn't be much of an issue. But the fact that the Marlins are getting their 3rd look at him, it was the 6th inning that was his undoing last time out against the Phils. Strung together 4 consecutive hits, 2 of which were triples in a 4-run 6th. Morrison jumped on a first pitch fastball for his home run back in the 2nd, so start him off speed but off the plate.
Two 2-0 on Morrison.
Good take there. That's the swing and miss splitter there from Samardzija. When he throws it over the plate but down, that's where he's at his best. When he throws it off the plate, he flies open a little bit, and the hitters see it pretty well and then tend not to chase it. But that one that's on the plate down below the knees is an out pitch for him. Good take by Morrison. Now he's got himself in a hitter's count.
One missed outside. 3-0.
Potential game changing at bat.
Yep.
And Samardzija doesn't want to make a mistake.
The guy on deck, Echevarria, already with 2 singles.
You got to believe he's got the green light.
Like he did. Couldn't pull the trigger, but looked like he was ready to swing. 3-1. Here's the pitch. They're loaded. Patient at bat for Morrison. As Samardzija has now walked 2 on the day. James Russell up in the Cubs bullpen. Here comes Chris Bosio. Russell just starting to throw.
White Sox Yankees tonight, and hey, happy birthday to the Hawk, Ken Harrelson, 72 I believe today.
Archimedes Caminero up for the Marlins. Dan Plesac will join Hawk tonight. Filling in for Stoney.
Oh, got to pull a rabbit out of his hat here.
Bases loaded, corner men in, back up the middle, and Echevarria takes ball one.
At times, Jeff this year has gotten into trouble by trying to throw his way out of trouble, reaching back for a little something extra and missing spots. Got to remember to just make quality pitches, pitch your way out of trouble. And that's exactly the feedback he's getting from Navarro back there. Calm down, nice and easy.
A high drive, deep left center field, and this ball is gone. That's a grand slam for Echevarria.
Wow.
6-3.
Well, the sixth inning got him last time, and it just took a big old bite out of Jeff here this afternoon. And again, just couldn't execute the pitch. He fell behind 1-0, trying to go down and away, and anything but. Belly button high.
Career grand slam. Remember, the other one was off Roy Halladay. Six to 3. Coy Hill with a gapper. And he's got a double. 5 straight batters have now reached after Yelich made it out on the first pitch of the inning.
Lucas, a 31-year-old rookie. Good story for the Marlins this year. 3 home runs. First came at AT&T Park back in June off Barry Zito.
Lucas batting for Hatcher. Chris Hatcher has a chance now for his first major league win. He got out of that jam started by Brian Flynn. 2 on, nobody out. Hatcher got the next 3 guys.
Flynn in his major league debut today, 4 innings plus a couple batters, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, couple of punch outs. He allowed 2 home runs, also recorded his first major league hit. The
kick, the 3-1. A chopper to second. It'll be Barney to make the play. Hill at third, 2 outs.
Marlins with a chance to sweep this 3-game series on the road. I'm guessing that hasn't happened for them very often this year. 23-46 on the road.
They tied their season high in terms of a win streak, 3. Today would be their first 4-game winning streak if they hang on. Long way to go, though. We're only in the 6th.
Yeah, as I go through their game by game, their notes, I don't see a series sweep on the road of at least 3 games. They won 2 in a row over the Mets in New York. The first game of that series was postponed due to rain.
Three and 1.
Kind of ugly down in South Florida, the way they dismantled this team after building the big, new ballpark. Jeffrey Loria, the owner of the Marlins, taking a lot of heat. But they have some things going well for them right now.
We have a lot of good young talent. They just put up a 4-spot. Echevarria with a grand slam, and the Marlins now lead this one 6-3.
We love our devices until we see the new one. Technology doesn't wait. Why should you? Introducing AT&T Next, a new way to get a new device every year. 0 down payment, no upgrade fee, no activation fee, no financing fee. It's time to rethink how you get a new device.
Tonight, the White Sox look to close out their series in New York on a high note. Tune in as Paulie and the boys take aim at Cano and the Yankees. Don't miss White Sox Yankees tonight at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Everyone likes a bit of order in their life. Virtual Wallet helps you get it. Keep track of spending, move money with a slide, and use the calendar, all to see your money how you want.
Save big money during the Menard Day sale. Brighten up your home and save energy with LED bulbs from Fight. Now all on sale. This dimmable LED bulb can replace a 40-watt incandescent bulb and last